Hello, Internet. Okay. Quickly, so that it's like 11 because I just got back from working on a group project. Things I need to talk about today. Number one, I went into London this past weekend with a friend, and we saw One Man, Two Guvnors, starring James Corden. If you don't know him by name, maybe you'll know him by this picture. Yeah, so he is on Doctor Who, if that's what you need to know him by. It's what kind of brought me, but I've seen him on other things. Anyway, he was amazing. It was really funny. Go watch YouTube clips. I don't have time to give you a full review because it's almost 11 and I need to upload this. Second, I'm just going to move straight on to the dream thing so that I can get done with this fast. Dreams that have always stuck with me. The first one that comes to mind, there are two that I always talk about. The first one that comes to mind is the one that I'm sure I've told you all about. It's when I lived in my old house. So none of you knew me at this time. I was in second grade, and I lived across the street, not across the street from, my backyard connected with Dan's backyard. And I had a dream when I was young enough to live there, so pre-second grade, that there was a new man who moved into the neighborhood, and he had one of those plastic disco balls with all the little colored lights on them, that make those horrible whirring sounds when it's on, so it's like Anyway, he was stealing the irises out of people's eyes, putting them on the plastic disco balls, and that's what made you see in color. So we all went colorblind when he stole the irises from our eyes and put it on the disco ball. And it just looked like a normal disco ball. It didn't even look like human eyes were on it. It was just, those colors were our irises of our eyes. So I guess somebody had a magenta iris of their eye. Anyway, so my dream was in black and white, because we were running around trying to get back this disco ball and fight this evil neighbor who had stolen our irises. Although I'd like to point out that although it was not even remotely scientifically sound, I tried to make logic out of my stupid dream and out of how one sees in color at a nice young age, so woohoo, young Meg. Scientifically, you suck. Imaginatively, though, not so bad. The other one that always sticks with me, I can't remember the specifics, but there was a reality TV show in which it was a quiz show, so it was I think it was kind of like Slime Time Live, one of those things where you have to answer questions and if something goes wrong, slime falls on your head, except that you were inside of a huge hot pink bathtub thing, and it was filled with soap suds and funny bath things, and if you answered a question wrong, then he slammed on a buzzer and your bathtub thing spun around, the water spun around, you freaked out and moved around like that. And yeah, I was very afraid and it seemed very painful. The only other one was really that there were monsters at my daycare. I think that one happened a few times where me and my dad would show up and there would be a horde of various cartoon monsters that would chase us out of daycare. I think a lot of my dreams happen in a cartoon-like existence. Recently had one that we were at Hogwarts. That was a really good dream, that all of our good friends was at Hogwarts. I had another one fairly recently in which we were at something between the Willow Grove Mall and Disney World. So I remember being in the Willow Grove Mall, and then we went into a basement and we were suddenly in an Aladdin style ride, and me and Sarah and I think Katie and Chelsea, pretty much everybody, were competing for America's Next Top Model. Don't ask me why. It happened. So we're competing for America's Next Top Model, except that at the same time we're also competing for a place as a Disney employee for Disney World, kind of as a princess dresser-upper. And I remember me and Sarah were in a vicious battle in the Aladdin room. I don't know how we actually fought, because it was America's Next Top Model, but it was pretty epic. So, fighting to the death in Willow Grove / Disney World over America's Next Top Model / Disney princesses. Imaginative dream. Yes. So, that's my dream. I'm trying to think what else I need to tell you about. Well, there are... Amy's being loud. There are, well, it's pretty much a week until I come home. Very exciting. I'm excited about it. And I'll see you guys really soon. I get to come home. There's talk of there being snow next week, like the end of next week, in which case I will be not happy because that would possibly lead to my plane being grounded. I'm just thinking on the worst, but can you imagine? I get home on birthday, so that would be the worst birthday ever, just sitting in an airport in England, not able to come home. Awkward and sad. I don't like it. Can't happen. So it won't. There. Yeah, I'll leave it there. I thought I had something else to say, and I probably still do, but I can't remember what it was. I've loved all your videos this week. They're all very fun. And I'll see you all next week for one last video in England before I get home. I love you, and I'll see you soon, which is exciting. I hope you all haven't forgotten what I look like. If you did, it's right here. So I hope that was a nice reminder. Thanks, guys. Bye. See you eventually.